Okay, hi, this is Jonathan Lopez with Golden XV, and we're doing our monthly review of the defensive investor portfolio. Today is September 8th, 2012. So if we look at how our portfolio did over the last month, we'll see that Google was a big winner, as well as Apple. Total was good, Nike, General Dynamics were all good stocks. Intel was a bit of a drag on the portfolio, but overall the portfolio was up 1.84% for the month versus the S&P at 2.48. And so if we see that since we made those adjustments a few months back, it's really smoothed out the performance of the portfolio. We're getting that nice steady growth and keeping pretty close line with the S&P 500. Our average per month has, since we started, was 1.66 versus 1.86 for the S&P. So pretty good return without having to do a lot of work, which is our goal. And that's why our monthly reviews are now going to be about 10 minutes. So what we want to do is keep current on the portfolio, though. And if we'll notice here, the two stocks that we've had in there that we haven't looked at for a while was Becton Dixon and 3M, which we haven't looked at since May. So let's take a look at those two right now. Let's take a look at Becton Dixon first of all. Just going to put that in, BDX. Okay, so it's trading at 77.88. We bought Becton Dixon back in May at a price of 76.76. Right now it's at 77.88. So we're sitting on a 2.4, I'm sorry, it's up about 1% and pays a 2.41 dividend yield. Let's see how their earnings have done. So we look at their earnings. So they reported when was the last time they reported? They reported in June. The estimate was 153, and they actually missed it by a penny for 152. That's not a big difference there. We're looking at $5 we're figuring for this year and $5.82 for next year. So it's a nice steady growth, no big surprises. The estimates dropped a little bit there, but nothing huge. And if we look at, go here, we look at our defensive portfolio. When we bought Becton Dixon, we were figuring that number 7, line 10. We were figuring earnings growth of about 8%. And if we look at what they actually did, we're still looking at earnings growth of about 8%. So for a long-term hold, that's a nice stock to we'll just hold on to that one. So if we, another thing that we like about Becton Dixon, if we look at our quote here, is that beta of 0.6. It's a pretty low volatility stock. It's one that's not going to add a lot of volatility to our portfolio, just that steady growth and that nice dividend of about 2.4%. So we'll hold on to Becton Dixon. Let's try a different pen. We're going to hold. And then let's look at 3M, which we haven't looked at since May. So 3M we also bought in May. We paid $86.73 for it. Right now it's at 92.82. Okay, so that's gone up about 7% since we bought it. It's paying about a 2.63% dividend. And let's see how their earnings have been coming along. So we're going to put in the symbol here. MMM. Take a look at their earnings. So again, they reported in June. They were estimated $1.65. They came in at $1.66. So they beat their earnings by a penny. That's good. Again, no big surprise, and we don't want any big surprise. We just want these steady growth, and we're figuring for the year we're going to be about 642, and next year about 694. A nice 8% growth per year. Estimate has come down a little bit, but nothing to be super worried about. So they're figuring growth over the next 5 years about 11%. Add on to that your 2% dividend, and if the market recognizes the value, like a 13% annual return, that's kind of what we're looking at it out of this stock. So I would say we'd hold on to this one too. Again, going back here. Beta of 0.87, also a pretty low volatility stock. We're going to hold on to those two. So no changes in the portfolio this month, which should be pretty typical going forward. Not a lot of buying and selling, just we've identified good companies we want to hold on to for the next 20 years. We want to keep an eye on them on a regular basis, but aside from any major shakeups, we're not going to do a lot of trading in this portfolio. So just to wrap up, we looked at BDX, we looked at 3M, and we're going to hold on to both of those. Okay, and then next month, we're going to look at these stocks that we haven't looked at in a while: GD, Disney, Walgreens, McDonald's, and Schlumberger. Okay, and we look forward to next month when we look at those stocks. If you have any questions about the portfolio, you can go to www.goldenxv.com. Take a look at the defensive portfolio. And also this month we are starting our enterprising portfolio, so we encourage you to take a look at that one too.